So this week we're going to take some of the stuff that we learned with soldering and we're going to make this Minecraft sun catcher. Now this is my very first fandom project for this channel, but if you have a fandom that you want me to make a project of later on, make sure to leave a suggestion down in the comments below. Alright, let's get to this one. Now to do this project, you don't necessarily need to solder. If you want to do it the way that I did it, you will, and if you haven't seen that video, I'm going to pop it up over here. Go ahead, take a look, come on back. But you can actually do this without soldering if you want to just do singles and tape, but you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. Regardless of how you do this project, the very first thing that you're going to need is a package of microscope slides. These are readily available online if you don't have them near you, and you shouldn't pay more than like $5 or $6 for a package. Once you have your slides in hand, what you're going to do is print out your artwork the same size as your slides. Once you're done printing your artwork, you're going to want to take it over to a protective surface and flip it over. Then bring over like a tablespoon of cooking oil and some cotton swabs, and we're going to work some magic. You're going to want to take your time with this step, make sure you dab very lightly, and we're just going to take the Q-tip, put it into the oil, and dab the back of the paper. Really what we're doing is we're taking advantage of the paper's permeability, and that just means that it lets liquids or gases pass through it easily. If we did water with this, it would just evaporate eventually, leaving a piece of dry paper, and you wouldn't get the transparency or the see-throughness that we're looking for. When you're done, we're just going to blot the extra off with a piece of paper towel. If you want to take a second and hold your paper up to the light, you're going to see like how much more transparent it is now. It's a huge difference. Next, we're going to take a pair of scissors and cut these out. They don't have to be perfect, just kind of get as close as you can to the edge. Once you have all of your images cut out, we're going to take the first one and sandwich it between a pair of slides. Next, we're going to take a piece of copper tape that's about the length of one of the sides. And first we're going to lay down a little bit on the front, then we're going to wrap it around the edge and then lay it down on the back and just rub your finger back and forth and make sure there aren't any bubbles or anything. We're going to do this to the other three sides as well, and that's going to seal your image inside of the slide. If you can't solder, or if it's still a little bit intimidating to you and you want to do a variation on this, you can do basically the same thing, but instead of the copper tape, you can use other kinds of tape. You can use electrical tape or duct tape, really whatever's going to fit in with your theme, and you can make single slides and hang them up individually. Those of you who are soldering, finish up with your slides because we're going to have a few more steps. First, we'll solder the edges of the slides and then turn them over and do the front. And we're going to do all of these individually. I'm using a pencil tip for this project just because the surface area is so small, and I'm using a smaller gauge solder as well, just so I don't have so much of it coming out all at once. Once that's done, you're going to lay them down on a protected surface, and after you flux them again, you're going to deposit dots of solder just to hold the two sides together in between the joints. Then we're going to take a pretty good bit of solder and just go over the joint. Now what's going to happen is the solder is actually going to seep in between both of the slides. And while you're doing this, it's going to smooth down the temporary joints. If you already have the spot picked out and you just want to lean it against your window and you don't want to hang it, you're done. But if you'd like to hang it up, here's the last couple of steps for that. If you don't already have jump rings, you can find these in the jewelry section of the craft store. They're relatively cheap. And you're going to solder one to each side of your sun catcher. Then just grab some ribbon or some cord, really whatever ties in with your theme, and knot it on each of the ends, and you have something to hang it from. If you are new to the community and you're a cool person and you want to hang out with us, then hit subscribe. Or if you're already part of the community, why not invite your friends? If this has been a helpful video, I'm still sick, you guys. If this has been a helpful video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time or down in the comments, and I'll try not to hit my microphone again. Sorry. Okay, bye.